This video we will study what is meant by epidemiological studies and its types. Epidemiological study means these are nothing but the scientific investigations which are conducted to study the distribution of any health related event or a disease, that is occurrence of the disease in relation to time, place or person, and the determinants of the health related event or a disease, that is the causes or the risk factors in a study population. So in simple words, epidemiological studies study the distribution or occurrence of disease, and it also study the determinants, that is the risk factors and the causes of the disease. These epidemiological studies, they are broadly divided into two categories: the observational study and the experimental study. In experimental studies, the researcher uses interventions or assigns exposures in the population, that is for example any new medicine or vaccine or any new therapy, and it studies the effect of that on the population. So these are called experimental study. In opposition to this, in observational study, the interventions are not used, the researcher only observes the population. So this observational studies and experimental study. Experimental studies are further divided as randomized controlled trial, that is RCT, non-randomized controlled trial, field trials and community trials. And these observational studies, they are further divided into descriptive study and analytical study. In descriptive studies, there are no comparison groups, and in analytical study, the comparison groups are present. Descriptive studies describe the disease in relation to time, place and the person, and it generates the hypothesis. In descriptive study, we do not study the cause of the disease or the risk factors, and there are also no comparison groups are present in descriptive study. Examples of descriptive studies are case report, case series and ecological study. All these are descriptive epidemiological studies. And in analytical studies, we use comparison groups and we find the cause or the risk factor of the disease, the relationship of exposure with the disease are studied in analytical study, and analytical study are used to test the hypothesis. Examples are cohort study, case control study, cross-sectional study. So that's all about the epidemiological studies. They are broadly divided into observational studies and experimental studies, and there are further subtypes. In the next videos, we'll learn one by one about in details about all these studies. Thank you.